Hi, I'm Dennis Gitsis, Atlantic City Jitney owner-operator, and you are watching South Jersey Business with Joe Molyneux.
Welcome to South Jersey Business with Joe Molyneux. Thank you for joining us as we share information, tips, and techniques that can make our business community and your business more successful. Thank you to Stockton University for the opportunity to produce this show focusing on business in South Jersey. On today's program, we will talk with Manny Mathodakis, President of the Atlantic City Jitney Association, with a state-of-the-art facility in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. We will also be joined by Atlantic City Jitney owner and operators Dennis Gitsis and John Walker. Each will share portions of their story of success and journey, as well as their experience and knowledge of the business of transporting people throughout our region. I have known Manny, Dennis, and John for a number of years, and I have watched as they built a brand and a strong organization that provides vital transportation to so many residents and events that helps keep business moving in South Jersey. The Atlantic City Jitney Association believes in the power of working together. They also support and act to create a cleaner and greener environment here in our region. Stay tuned for our conversation with Manny Mathodakis, President of the Atlantic City Jitney Association, along with Atlantic City Jitney owner and operators Dennis Gitsis and John Walker, with some solid transportation business talk and more on South Jersey Business with Joe Molyneux. Welcome back to business. Thanks for joining South Jersey Business with me, Joe Molyneux. Please welcome our guest, Manny Mathodakis, President of the Atlantic City Jitney Association. Manny, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Joe.
Can you talk a little bit about your role as the President of the Atlantic City Jitney Association?
Sure. I've been in president since 16, and I'm trying to contact business to the Jitney Association and the owners and operators, meetings, trying to work with state level because it's a lot of changes to the rules, like a DLT. It just came up about a year ago, and all of us, we had to get DLT. So this is the role I have to be on and with the Jitney Association and make sure everything is get done.
Now, because you work with 190 Jitney drivers, or 189 because you're the 190th, yes. Correct? You had to learn a lot by being a Jitney driver, and I'm sure that helped you in managing and leading the Jitney Association, correct? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. I was a Jitney driver for quite a while. And you learn how it really is on the street, what you have to do, what it has to be done. And this is the kind of stuff, the time I was been driving and same time I became a vice president, I learned these things, and I was able now to be able to give it back to the Jitney owners, so we make sure is done right.
That's great. The other question that I was going to ask you about was your facility used to be in Atlantic City, and then you had an opportunity to move out to Egg Harbor Township. Can you talk a little about what's available now out at Egg Harbor Township that you didn't have in Atlantic City as far as the value to the drivers and to the community?
Yes. In Atlantic City, we were there for a long time. It was, I don't have no complaints of that, but we have to make a move. It was kind of small. We have 190 vehicles, so we made a move. We came to Egg Harbor Township. We have a new facility. It's kind of new. We built a CNG station there.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Why don't you go into that a little bit and talk about what that means to the efficiency of the Jitneys now that drive through Atlantic City and our region?
Okay. CNG is natural gas. It burns clean. And because we're always working on the cities, and we know it's a lot of people, we want to make sure we give them something what other cities don't have. And we done that, and we're very pleased on that due to the fact it's economical and also it's good for the atmosphere.
I love it because it's clean and it's green. What I was going to ask you finally, just in this segment, was what is one of the most important business lessons you've learned as a leader at the Jitney Association?
The most important is because we have 189 owners and operators, to be able to have a communication with them and be able to talk to them wide open and be you and allow them to be them. So this way, you know, we understand one another. We don't want anything like I'm higher them. I'm another Jitney owner myself. It's just I had the opportunity to be able to do this job, but at the same time, I wanted them to be comfortable.
Communication and understanding are two things I can get behind. I'm looking forward to the rest of our conversation. We'll be right back with more business talk with Manny Mathiadakis, President of the Atlantic City Jitney Association. We are back with Manny Mathiadakis, President of the Atlantic City Jitney Association. Manny, how do you define success?
I define success whatever we do, and we are in transportation business, to be able to satisfy the customers, to make sure the time they're on the buses, they feel safe, and we take them to the destinations. Same time, because I have 189 owners and operators, I want to make sure they have a safe. And if I combine this together, I feel that's the right
That's
thing.
a great definition of
Yes.
success, actually. Speaking of safety and security and doing things right, you work with a lot of partners that come to expect that and have expected that, and you've delivered on that. Can you talk about just a few of the key partnerships that you've formed throughout the region?
Sure. With New Jersey Transit, we partner up, and we're doing the transportation from the convention center to all the casinos. We have at the airport, Avalon, Stone Harbor, and we're trying to reach some other cities because just the way a business are. We have to move people, and I have 189 people, and I've got to make sure we are be able to bring work for them.
I've seen you at work, and I know you enjoy the work you do, especially the leadership role. What is one of the things you most enjoy about the work you do? One thing.
I'm enjoying the time I have my, I call them members, owners, the time we have in a meeting, we all get together and we discuss things, how we're going to do the business, what direction is going to go. I enjoy that because they all want the same thing. They all want it to have success. So doing that, I feel good about that.
That's great. That's a great answer. You've been involved in the Jitney Association for over 30 years. And I know I want to ask what's next, but I know you're excited to talk about one of the newest things that you're going to be adding to the Jitney Association that involves technology, Stockton, and some students. Can you talk a little bit about this new development that you're putting in place?
Yes, Joe. All of us know that technology is just the way it goes anymore. It's unbelievable. We have new things coming to Atlantic City, like example Stockton University, and we working right now. It's halfway done to put an app on everybody's phone. So this way, anybody want to see where we are, or if they sitting or eating dinner, or it doesn't matter how, but they want to see where we are so they can get out and come out to the stop and get us.
So that leads to more safety and security, plus an interaction with this transportation service to help the students, residents, business owners, and even conventioneers move more efficiently throughout the city, correct?
Yes, of course.
And that's in the making, it's coming soon.
Yes.
Well, that's a very exciting advancement. I want to thank you for being part of the show today and sharing your success and some new news about the Jitney Association and that app. I'm very excited.
Thank you.
That was Manny Mathiadakis, president of the Atlantic City Jitney Association. We'll be right back with more South Jersey Business. As you are aware, management, marketing, money, and media are the essential parts of any business. And when you are owning and operating your own transportation business as part of the Atlantic City Jitney Association, you need to know how to navigate all 4 M's. So it's time for the M4 Big Money Question. Dennis, welcome to South Jersey Business.
Joe, thank you very much for having me today.
Well, let's get right into it. Let's break it down. Let's talk about your management style.
My management style from the very beginning has always been the same. I really think it's so important to make sure that every customer I have on my bus each and every time, whether they're coming on and coming off, and acknowledge them. Give them a smile. Thank you for coming. How are things? You have to make the folks understand that they're doing me a big favor by taking the Jitney, and I think I've always felt that way, that they're doing me the honor of at least being able to serve them every day. And with those folks in and out on my bus, I'm able to at least take the 2 seconds that says, "Hey, have a good day. Thank you very much for riding the Jitney."
You've always been a very thoughtful person, so I think that just continues into your work, but that's a great way to manage. Let's talk about marketing. I mean, you're very fortunate because you have a very visual type business there, but what traditional forms of marketing do you use to attract people to the Jitney?
Well, every time I do get in the Jitney every day, I already have that rolling billboard. You know, the bus is the beautiful green that we go up and down the street. It's very visible. I think most of the time the people see that. It might take them 2 or 3 times to realize what we're doing if they're from the outside, if they're visiting from out of state. But once they realize what we do every day, what we're there for is to move people up and down the street. I think it's that bus, the colors that we've chosen for it, it's an outstanding way to market the bus. I know myself, when I do get done work, when I do park it, I think to myself sometimes, there's my bus. It's not going to be able to be the rolling billboard, but I will. Every day we have people up and down the street.
That's great. We're up to the third M now. That's money. I know there's a set price for people to get on the Jitney, and we understand that, but there was also an investment that you had to make. So how important is money to the business and you running the business?
The investment that we do put out when you, as an owner-operator of the Jitney Association, it's considerable. But the more that you put into it, the more time that you put into it, the more that you work on the street, the more hours that you do work. We do have a set hours that we can work. You do have to make sure that, you have every year you know what you're going to be walking into, and you have to make sure that you realize what you're buying into, what amount of time you have to put into it. And as much time as I put into it, as much as I can get out of it. And that's one part that I do enjoy, that I can put the time and effort into it, and I can make a good living being able to do something I do love to do.
That's great. Media, how important is it when people are filming the Jitney and sharing that on social media, and the PR that you get, the stories that are told about the Jitney owner-operators? How important is that?
Well, we're starting something new that I really believe in. It's about the app. But I do think that social media is so big right now, and the way that we're constantly being filled with people, and with the music going, and we have things happening in the bus and people enjoying themselves. We get customers that will have a group of 3 or 4 people going out for the night, and we do find out that later on that night they do show it on social media, and I'm hoping that people are enjoying what we're doing. We try our hardest every day to get people moved up and down the street.
You did a really good job hitting all 4 M's, and I want to thank you for spending the time with us.
Oh, thank you very much, Joe.
There you have it. Atlantic City Jitney owner-operator Dennis Gitzis' driven answer to the M4 Big Money Question. Sounds like a well-planned route to success in management, marketing, money, and media. Welcome back. On today's business drill, we will stick with today's theme of transportation and discuss a few lessons we can learn from the industry. Here is moving business forward. Today's guest reminded me that to be successful in the transportation business, you need to understand and follow some basic principles. Here are a few tips and strategies. You want to be sure you have the right size vehicle in transportation and in business. For instance, too large of an operation could waste your resources, while too small of a business may limit a ramp up should a potential growth opportunity arise quickly. Identify a destination. Many times, people start a business or attempt to grow a company or organization without a clear direction. Planning is essential in both the transportation business and in almost any other kind of business. Be sure to map out your route and a desired outcome. Fuel up. You will find it very difficult to get moving or move people without the fuel and resources. Most people think about financial resources, and they are essential. However, fuel can also come in the form of what motivates you to move forward. Consider passengers. The transportation business is all about passengers, and so is your business. Make sure the people you invite on the journey of business are experienced, engaged, and knowledgeable in ways that complement your skills. Whether we are talking about partners or employees, the ride can be more enjoyable with the right mix of people. Watch your speed. Just like the Grateful Dead warning Casey Jones, the speed you go in moving your business forward has both pros and cons attached. Among other concerns, move too quickly and you may lose control or crash. Move too slowly and your competition may overtake you. So what do? Monitor your speed and check the route you set and the mile markers frequently to make sure you're on target to reach your destination. So let's take a moment to review today's drill. Number 1, choose the right vehicle. Number 2, identify a destination. Number 3, fuel up. Number 4, consider passengers. And number 5, watch your speed. So there you have it, 5 quick tips, strategies, and some things to consider inspired by transportation to help you move and your business move forward. For this week's Business Drill. As you are aware, management, marketing, money, and media are the essential parts of any business. And when you are owning and operating your own transportation business as part of the Jitney Association, you need to know how to navigate all 4 M's. So it's time for the M4 Big Money Question. John, let's break them down. Let's talk about your management style. How do you manage your time?
Joe, I've been a Jitney driver for 26 years now. When I go to work every day, I concentrate on customer service and safety. They're my 2 major priorities. That's all I care about, is getting those customers there in a safe manner, making sure that they're treated the way everybody likes to be treated, and making sure they have a safe and efficient ride to where they're going.
It's interesting because the actions you take become part of your marketing. But as far as traditional marketing, signage, things like that, even the signs on your Jitney itself, what sort of ways do you market the services you provide?
Well, we do it as an association. We do several different ways of marketing. We use a lot of different media, such as the radio. Is one. We actually have some advertising on backs of buses, different things like that. So we utilize every different market that we can, just to actually expose ourselves.
Now, I think people understand when you're an owner-operator, you buy the vehicle, there's an investment there. So when we get to the money piece, there's a ticket price that's charged, of course, for the rides, but it's an investment. So how important is that strategy of making sure your buses are filled that generates the income to help offset that investment that all the drivers made?
Yeah, I mean, the investment, it's a big investment. We try, we've been in a situation now with the city the way it's been. So, unfortunately, our franchise value has decreased a little bit. But hopefully the city's on the rebound, and things are turning around, and hopefully with the Hard Rock opening and with Ocean Resort opening, that our business is going to flourish and come back to where it was in 2006. It peaked. I mean, that was the peak of the market. So, we have to hope that everything goes right in the city, because what determines where we go is where the city goes. If the city continues to thrive and be successful, the jitney business will thrive and be successful. So it's such a big part of our business, is such a big part of what happens in this city.
Well, it's always been, right? For over 100 years, you've been providing services. So you've rode that cycle of ups and downs in Atlantic City. And I think now we're truly moving forward and raising up. And it's going to be another cycle that begins in a very positive way because of what you just mentioned. So that brings us to the last piece. And I know you're real big on this new technology, which includes some of the social media and the app. But let's talk about that. The media that the Jitney Association gets, it's very visual, a lot of pictures, a lot of things like that. How important is that social media to the brand of the Jitney Association?
Oh, it's very, very important. A lot of guys that do private parties and stuff like that, there's things that are posted on social media, and we try to accommodate a lot of different features. We have different bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. We offer a lot of different services in our association. Outside of our routes that we service in Atlantic City, we provide different services for everybody.
John, I want to thank you for sharing your views on the M4 Big Money question today.
Oh, it was a pleasure, Joe. Thanks for having me.
And also thank you for sharing the information on the economy, what's going on, and I think our future looks bright thanks to the work you and the Jitney Association are doing.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks for all your time.
There you have it. Atlantic City Jitney owner and operator John Walker's driven answer to the M4 Big Money question. Sounds like a well-planned route to success in management, marketing, money, and media. Dennis, we meet so many businesses that are involved in their community, and the Jitney Association, as well as the individual owners and operators, they're no different. They're involved. Can you talk about some of the ways Jitney owners and the association get involved with the community?
Joe, we have 190 in the fleet, and what we try to do is throughout the city is to any time that there's something we can help out with the city, we do it. They'll give the call to the office will give us a call, we'll get together, whether it's a Boys and Girls Club, something that they need done. We have a big emergency management part of it. Sandy was when we had the flooding for Sandy. We were on the call. We were there, moved people. Whenever we have, say there's a fire in the city, if there's some of the high rises that we have, they'll call us in and ask us to help move some of the folks. Because all of our buses are equipped with handicap accessibility, which is really important for the community. There are folks that are able to get up and down the streets every day, 24 hours a day. If they need to get to the store, if they need to get someplace, or even just going to get out of the house. We're able to do that 24 hours a day with that handicap accessibility, which that fleet that we have, every bus is equipped with it. It really helps out everyone in the city that can get around and that needs it.
Yeah, I know you're part of the emergency evacuation plan as well, so that goes deep. Beyond the emergency stuff, which is so important, that's why I'm glad we started with that, the owner-operators also get involved at a nonprofit level. I know I see them at events, and they'll sometimes donate some of their services to help raise money for different charities. And I know that's not required, but it seems to be something that more and more drivers are doing to support the community. Can you talk a little bit about that?
You're correct, Joe. I know myself, along with some of the other guys in my town, we'll go back around whenever there's some kind of fundraiser for something. If we can do it on our time to move people around, maybe get them back and forth, we'll do it. We're always you'll see us at different events that the city calls in for. If it's a fundraiser, I don't think there's probably not too many times that we've ever said no to the community, because we're trying to make sure they understand that we're there for them and they're there for us. And we really appreciate that community to be able to use us every day and really we want to be part of them, and we really do appreciate the whole community.
Well, let's combine the two things, emergency or preventing emergencies, and then the community part. I think the Jitney Association does a really good job of promoting that idea of not drinking and driving, because they do offer alternatives to that. You can have shuttle service through different events, and actually bring a jitney out on your own throughout the community to make sure your people arrive safely to their destination and back home. Is that a call you get a lot of times for services?
We have been. It's something that more and more people are made aware of. They know that they don't want to be on the street when they've had a few drinks. And you know, it's something that I think folks maybe 10 years ago weren't aware of what could actually happen. And I think more and more people are starting to realize, let's be safe, let's be smart, let's get a jitney, let's go out for the night and enjoy ourselves, not have to worry about driving that vehicle around.
I know that we talked about community, and we're housed here at the Stockton community, and you have a great partnership working with Stockton. Can you talk a little bit about the value there to work with the students as well as faculty and transporting them through the shuttle?
Joe, Stockton's in a great position. They're down at the end, and all the good stuff in the middle of town. They're going to be so happy to be able to just step out in that street, get to the curb, jump on the jitney, take us down, go down to the walk, go down to the shops, go see what's going on in town, go to dinner, just get out of the place. Whenever they have to come out, it's 24 hours a day. They can't sleep. They want to get out for a couple hours to go have a drink, go have something to eat. They're going to be able to walk right outside there, right on Albany Avenue, get anywhere in the city they want to pretty much 24 hours a day. It's going to be a great fit for both of us.
Yep, you're established, 190 drivers at their disposal and the community's disposal. I want to thank you for being a big part of the community.
Joe, I really appreciate you having me today. I really do.
Thanks. That was Atlantic City Jitney owner and operator Dennis Gitsis. We'll be right back with more South Jersey Business. The crew here at South Jersey Business appreciates those of you that tune into the show each week. From time to time, we receive questions from our viewers, and we always do our best to respond to your inquiries. So it's time for Q&A. And here's this week's question. Dear South Jersey Business, as a local business owner, I receive so many sales calls and have salespeople visiting my business on a regular basis. I am sure there are some good opportunities, but how do I separate the better business salespeople from those not so good? That's a good question, and one that is not asked as much as it should be. There are many salespeople out there that realize that sales are a numbers game. You have to go through so many people saying no before you get to a yes. There are also some great salespeople that search for the quality of a connection and sale over quantity. These are the salespeople that want to build a relationship and spend time to nurture it. I believe a great way to separate those that want a relationship based on a good fit between what you need and what they offer is to give them some homework. If you feel there's value in the relationship or working with the individual, come up with a few questions that you need answers to that relates to what you do, or more importantly, what they observe. Allow them to become a resource and invite them back to discuss what they have found out or what they know. The salespeople that come back prepared may be who you are looking for, potentially. At least that is one way to distinguish between the not so good and the better salespeople, the ones who are committed to your business success. I hope that helps answer your question. We'll be right back. Well, that's the show. We had an informative discussion with Manny Mathodakis, president of the Atlantic City Jitney Association, along with Atlantic City Jitney owner and operators Dennis Gitsis and John Walker, with a state-of-the-art facility in Egg Harbor Township. We answered a question and even learned a few transportation-inspired ways to increase business during our business drill. Once again, thank you to Stockton University and everyone that makes this program possible. Let's do it again next week, and until then, let's get growing, South Jersey. Thanks for watching.